Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please support and subscribe to my channel. The concept of the evil eye in ancient civilizations. Let's start with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. If anything were to have the power to alter destiny, it would be the evil eye. This term originates from the belief that a harmful gaze, often fueled by envy or ill will, can bring misfortune or suffering. The phrase can be traced back to the Greek word Baskonia and the Latin malus oculus, both of which mean evil eye. Throughout history, vision and sight have been linked to power. Many languages include phrases like casting an eye or giving the eye, which imply more than simple observation. They suggest an ability to influence others, sometimes in a harmful way. The concept of the evil eye is based on the idea that some individuals possess the ability to unintentionally or deliberately cause harm just by looking at someone with envy. One example of this belief comes from Slavic folklore, where a father burdened with the evil eye chose to blind himself to protect his children from its effects. Belief in the evil eye is ancient and widespread, appearing in civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome, as well as in later cultures across Asia, Africa, Europe, and the Americas. In Mesopotamia, one of the earliest human civilizations, the evil eye was feared, and people used protective amulets and rituals to guard against it. Sumerian and Akkadian texts mention prayers and symbols invoking gods like Enki for protection. The ancient Egyptians also believed in the power of the gaze. The Ujat, or Eye of Horus, was not only a symbol of healing and protection, but also a defense against negative energies, including the evil eye. This fear of harmful envy extended to burial practices, where amulets were placed on mummies to shield them in the afterlife. In Greece, the evil eye, Baskonia, was a recurring theme in literature and art. Thinkers like Plutarch discussed it in detail, suggesting that envy could produce a literal, harmful force that affected others. The Romans called it malus oculus and used charms, inscriptions, and even phallic symbols as protective measures. Roman scholars, including Pliny the Elder, documented the evil eye's effects and described methods for countering its influence. In ancient Indian culture, the evil eye is known as drishti, or buri nazar. Protective practices include hanging lemons and chilies outside homes, applying black dots on foreheads, and reciting specific mantras. Infants and newlyweds were considered especially vulnerable. In the Middle East, the concept of al-ain, the evil eye, remains deeply rooted. Blue and white talismans, called nazar, are common, particularly in Turkey. These charms are believed to absorb and neutralize the harmful effects of envy, protecting individuals, homes, and even animals. In European folklore, the evil eye was often linked to witches or people thought to have supernatural abilities. The evil eye in Italy. Italy has a particularly strong tradition surrounding the malocchio, evil eye. Protective hand gestures, such as the corna, horns, are used to ward off its effects. In Slavic folklore, the evil eye was considered a dangerous curse known as skaz, while in Persian culture, it was called chasham zakum. In Jewish tradition, the belief in ayin hara also emphasized the dangers of envy-driven harm. The widespread and ancient nature of the evil eye belief suggests that it is not a mere superstition. It has endured for millennia and continues to be a significant part of various cultures. To seek the ultimate truth on this matter, we turn to the most reliable source of knowledge, the Quran. Concept of the evil eye in Islam. The evil eye is recognized in both the Quran and Hadith as a genuine and potentially harmful force. In Surah Al-Qalam, Allah the Almighty said to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, "The disbelievers would almost cut you down with their eyes when they hear you recite the reminder and say, he is certainly a madman." 68:51. In Surah Yusuf, verse 67, Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, instructed his sons, "O my sons, do not enter the city through one gate, but enter through different gates." Prophet Yaqub, peace be upon him, had 10 sons who were exceptionally handsome and capable. Egypt had 4 gates, and when his sons were about to depart for the city, he feared that if all 10 entered through the same gate, they might attract the evil eye from those who saw them. To prevent this, he instructed them to enter through different gates. Additionally, the evil eye is discussed in Surah Al-Falaq, where Allah the Almighty says, "Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of the Dawn, from the mischief of created things, from the mischief of darkness as it overspreads, from the mischief of those who practice secret arts, and from the mischief of the envious one, as he practices envy." 113:1-5. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, affirmed the reality of the evil eye, saying, "The evil eye is true. If anything were to precede the decree of Allah, it would be the evil eye." In another narration, it is stated, "Indeed, the evil eye can have an effect, with the will of Allah, upon a man until he ascends a mountain and then falls from it." The evil eye in Hadith Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Seek refuge in Allah from the evil eye, for verily, it is true." This statement explains the evil eye as a malevolent and unseen force that demands vigilance and protection. But the pressing question remains, how? How exactly does the evil eye affect people? Neuroscience and the evil eye. Every living organism, including humans, generates an electromagnetic field. This field, also known as the biofield, is produced by the electrical activity in our cells, particularly in neurons and the heart. The human brain and nervous system are constantly firing electrical impulses that not only influence our own body, but also radiate outward, creating an electromagnetic field around us. The strength and characteristics of this field are influenced by our mental and emotional states. Studies in bioelectromagnetism have shown that human electromagnetic fields can be detected and measured. The brain, for example, generates various types of brain waves, such as alpha, beta, and delta waves, each corresponding to different states of consciousness. These waves have specific frequencies, and when a person is in a heightened emotional state, their brain waves may emit signals that are more intense or erratic. When our minds are in a state of balance, emitting higher frequency brain waves such as alpha and theta waves, we are calm, focused, and emotionally stable. However, when negative thoughts like envy or hatred dominate the mind, the frequency lowers, entering more chaotic states of beta waves, which are linked to stress, anxiety, and heightened emotional responses. Some neuroscientists propose that humans can unconsciously sense others' emotions and intentions through these electromagnetic interactions. Every thought, feeling, or emotion produces specific patterns of activity across neural circuits. These patterns generate electrical impulses that travel through the brain, influencing how we experience reality and interact with the world. The question is, can these electrical signals, driven by the subconscious and conscious mind, affect those around us? Our brain transmits electrical impulses that stimulate neurons to communicate across different regions. These impulses create a network of information exchange that is fundamentally electromagnetic in nature. For example, when someone feels jealousy, the corresponding emotions activate areas in the brain, such as the amygdala, which is responsible for emotional processing. The amygdala then communicates with other brain regions, like the prefrontal cortex, to assess whether a situation is threatening and how to respond. Jealousy, an emotion that fuels the concept of the evil eye, has been shown to produce distinct neural patterns. One of the key mechanisms by which negative energy might affect an individual is through the mind-body connection. The brain's perception of a threat, whether real or imagined, activates the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary bodily functions like heart rate, digestion, and immune response. This system has two branches. 1. The sympathetic nervous system, which activates the fight or flight response. 2. The parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and recovery. When a person experiences a stress response due to negative emotions or external threats, their sympathetic nervous system kicks in, preparing the body to either fight or flee from danger. This response includes an increase in heart rate, higher blood pressure, the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. While these responses are essential for short-term survival, prolonged activation of the stress response can lead to chronic health problems such as cardiovascular disease, digestive issues, weakened immune function, mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. In the case of the evil eye, directed negative energy might cause the recipient to enter a heightened state of stress, either through their perception of being targeted or through a subtle energetic influence that disrupts their balance. The body might respond to this perceived threat by activating the stress response, leading to physical and psychological symptoms. This idea is supported by research in psychoneuroimmunology, which investigates how psychological factors affect the immune system. When someone directs intense emotions at another person, whether by staring or simply thinking, they may be sending out low-frequency electromagnetic waves that resonate at a much lower frequency than positive emotions. In the same way that sound waves at certain frequencies can shatter glass, thoughts that resonate at specific frequencies could influence the energetic field of another person. This is where quantum physics may come into play. Quantum physics and the evil eye. At the deepest level, everything in the universe is made up of energy, constantly in motion. Even though we perceive the world around us as solid, in reality, everything, including humans, exists as energy fields that vibrate at different frequencies. This means that every object and person has a unique frequency or vibration that corresponds to their physical and emotional state. In quantum mechanics, this is known as the quantum field, the fundamental field of energy that underlies everything in the universe. Quantum physics has long established that energy fields can influence each other. One of the most fascinating concepts in quantum physics is quantum entanglement, which shows that particles can become linked in such a way that a change in one particle will instantly affect the other, no matter how far apart they are in space. Similarly, the energy fields of human beings, made up of vibrating particles and waves, can influence each other. When two people are in close proximity, their energy fields interact. This interaction can result in a positive exchange of energy, or, conversely, a negative influence, depending on the nature of the thoughts and intentions involved. Negative energy, such as that emitted by feelings of jealousy, envy, and malice, is denser and slower moving compared to the lighter, more harmonious vibrations of positive emotions. Just as low-frequency sound waves can disrupt more delicate vibrations, negative thoughts may cause disruptions in the energetic fields of others. Quantum physics suggests that when an individual harbors negative emotions and directs them towards someone else, they are essentially sending out a disturbance in the form of electromagnetic radiation. This disturbance could interfere with the other person's energetic field. When the human mind is focused, especially when driven by strong negative emotions, the brain emits a stronger electrical signal. This signal could theoretically travel outside the brain, influencing the space around the person and possibly affecting others, particularly those who are sensitive to such energetic shifts. At this point, neuroscientific research and quantum theory intersect, suggesting that the mind's power, channeled through intention and emotion, may have tangible effects on those it is directed toward. Quantum healing. Quantum healing is a concept that suggests the human body and mind function as energy systems. Just as quantum physics reveals that particles are interconnected and influenced by observation, Quantum healing posits that the human energy field can be influenced by thoughts, intentions, and external energies. The Quran acknowledges the existence of harmful energies, such as the evil eye, and provides guidance for protection. In Surah Al-Falaq, Allah seeks refuge for believers from the evil of the envious when he envies. Surah Al-Falaq, 113:5. This verse highlights the spiritual harm that can arise from negative energies directed toward a person. From a quantum perspective, envy can be viewed as a low-frequency energy that disrupts a person's biofield, affecting their mental, emotional, and physical state. The Quran provides a remedy through specific verses and supplications, which help to realign an individual's energy with higher frequencies, thus protecting them from harmful influences. The observer effect and intention. In quantum healing, the observer effect is a principle that suggests an individual's consciousness or intention can influence their physical state. This concept parallels Islamic teachings, which emphasize the role of niyyah, intention, in shaping a person's experiences and actions. In the Quran, Allah reminds believers that their intentions shape their actions and ultimately their outcomes. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:286. This passage connects spiritual practices in Islam with concepts from quantum physics, suggesting that human thoughts and intentions influence personal energy fields. It emphasizes that negative emotions like envy can create disruptions, while positive intentions, especially those aligned with divine guidance, can restore balance and offer protection. Recitation as a quantum shield. The Quran provides remedies against the evil eye, particularly through the recitation of powerful verses such as Ayat al-Kursi, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:255, Surah Al-Ikhlas 1:12, Surah Al-Falaq 1:13, Surah An-Nas 1:14. These verses are believed to elevate the energy of the reciter, acting as a spiritual shield. The idea is that reciting them raises one's vibrational frequency, invoking divine protection and repelling harmful energies. This concept is compared to quantum physics, where focusing on a specific state collapses all other possibilities into a single outcome. Similarly, reciting these verses directs one's energy toward divine protection, effectively creating a spiritual barrier against negative influences. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications to stay updated. See you in the next video. Allah bless you all.